I love Kyndryl because of its culture, values, and the amazing peers that I work with.
I love Kyndryl because it gives me the freedom to innovate.
It's a great place for opportunities, hands-on learnings and growth.
Kyndryl gives us an integrated approach where we could bring home and office as an integrated workplace itself.
I love working at Kyndryl because of its trust and absolute focus on people.
I love Kyndryl because it's welcoming, nurturing, and flexible.
A chance to work with my favorite people, and most important of all, the great company culture.
I love Kindred for its energy, the enthusiasm of a startup, and an empathy towards one another.
That's why I love Kyndryl.
In a world powered by digital systems, we now require mission-critical technology systems. Kyndryl is a New York-based, New York Stock Exchange-listed IT infrastructure firm that was founded as recently as 2021. The term kin is derived from the word kin that represents the strong bonds the company shares with customers and with one another, while drill is derived from the word tendril, which refers to new growth and connections. Indeed, Kyndryl as a company embodies the bonds that are required in the fast-paced, technology-driven world we all live in. Women make up approximately 30% of the workforce at the firm, with a balanced representation across bands, roles, and locations. At the C-suite level, women constitute approximately 18%, with a healthy mix in mid-management, technical, sales, and client-facing roles. Kyndryl claims to host amongst the highest number of distinguished female engineers and was recently declared amongst the best organizations for women to work. And we caught up with Kyndryl President Lingaraju Saukar to better understand the company's approach to creating a culture wherein women are set up for success.
How would you characterize Kyndryl's corporate culture? We hear so much about the Kyndryl way. What does that connote? What does it mean in layman terms?
We consider ourselves as a $19 billion startup, having come from the legacy of a 100-year-old organization, but the working mode of working like a startup and the opportunity to really think, work, and behave like a startup is what makes us very different. And in terms of our approach to the things that we do across, is to be how we deal with our customers and how we deal with ourselves as employees and partners. So the way we deal with our customers is to be on three cultural tenets, which is around being restless, empathetic, and devoted, and how we work within ourselves and treat each of us, our colleagues, as well as how we engage with our customers is about being flat, fast, and focused. So in a way, it's, I would say, the history and wisdom of a 100-year-old organization, but the agility, speed, and flexibility of a startup is how I'd probably coin what we do as a new company.
Walk us through Kyndryl's journey then towards becoming one of the most desirable organizations for women to work.
The way I look at this is that technically we are a 6-month, 7-month-old organization. We started off as an independent company on November the 4th, and it's a real matter of pride for us to be recognized as an organization focused on women talent. And in a way, I think it's more a recognition of who we are and what we want to do. And more importantly, it's a reflection of our DNA as such itself. And for us, the way we look at women and diversity is it's not a point in time program, but it's a reflection of our DNA. It's a reflection of the journey that we are on, and it's a reflection of the firm belief that we have in our organization as we deal with this. And we deal with this at multiple levels, right? One is as we make ourselves attractive to talent. So our policies, our programs, our women leaders themselves are the best big ambassadors of reflection of who we are, and hence, and that's one way where we want to attract more and more such talent. That's one part of it. Second is, as we get the talent on board, special attention to them, grooming them up, giving them access to the right set of mentors, and helping shape their career in the direction that they choose to, and enabling that is the second part of it. And the third part of it is also realizing that, look, that there are different needs and different objectives for different people. So how do you build an inclusive environment to accommodate every part of it? So for example, one of the bigger programs that we are very big on is women who've taken a career break and want to come back into the workforce. And that's a program that we focused on. So if you look at our mix of women talent and leaders that we've got. We've got very strong talent who's joined us and who's just joined us from campus, who joined us from various other initiatives. That's one set of talent. Second is women who've taken a break in their career and have joined back the workforce. And so helping them with their, let's say, acclimatization or bringing them to speed or skilling them up and getting them on board. And third is women in deep tech, which is all about ensuring that we help them get to the highest echelons of technical superiority. So where what we call as distinguished leaders. So it's across these three areas that we focus on and we engage.
Well, sir, many industry movers and shakers are envisioning a future in which there's a strong push for women in technology. How is Kyndryl specifically contributing to that vision?
I think the focus on women in tech, I think has really been around for a while, from the place where we came in from and where we are right now. In a way, the way I look at this, Pooja, is that there are three aspects to why our approach to this. The first aspect I already spoke to you about is a structured program of attracting and making ourselves known and really putting systems, process, policies in place to do that. The second part of it is the kind of work that we do itself. At Kyndryl, we power the vital systems of the large organizations and economies of the world. In a way, for example, the milk that gets delivered to your house is run and managed by Kyndryl's and the systems behind them. The phone call that connects people here is built and managed by the Kyndryl's. We move people, which is the automotive sector, works. We do a lot of work with them. We do a lot of work with them. So in a way, our whole thing is about touching 1 billion lives through the work that we do here through the eyes of our customers and segments. Now, by virtue of the work that we do, the attractiveness of what we offer is an opportunity to work with different technologies and different domains. So for someone joining in, it's like joining a university, which has different courses, different things. So that's one part of a longevity of a cycle. The second part of it is also the whole notion of being able to work in a new company like a startup, but has the solid foundation of a $19 billion. So that's a very comforting platform on which people work on. And the third more important part is the peer group, right? We've got distinguished engineers, PhDs, data scientists, hardcore hardware technical platform engineers, and management leaders. So the opportunity to work in a peer group that is so technically and managerially very strong, a set of technology and domains that gives you the spread of working like in a university, and at the core of it, doing very meaningful work in a way I'd call as touching 1 billion lives, is a combination of all of these things that makes us a very attractive place for women talent, Pooja.
Sure. And sir, I'm perhaps stating the obvious here, but given how competitive the IT sector is, going forward, how do you anticipate the industry will evolve for women and opportunities for women going forward?
For the industry that we are in, it's not just the engineering talent. I mean, engineering talent is one thing. So I firmly believe that we need to bring in a lot of talent from the humanities sector, from the arts sector, from the creative side, because that part of it is what will make a very big difference in bringing that aspect into the work that we do to make it more meaningful and engaging. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is also looking at different cross sections of talent coming in, right? Like, for example, how do you engage the age group of 13 to 17 or 13 to 18, the teenagers, right? We call it Generation Z or even beyond that. I think to me, that is a very strong talent workforce, not workforce, I mean, the mindset that they have on how they think and how they work and bringing that into the value of work that we do. So that's another area to look at. That's how you do through internship programs, how do you do through training programs and so on. So how do you engage that? And third, the biggest value that we get across, Pooja, the way I see it is reverse mentoring. As the industry moves forward, right, you've got to constantly look at what you can learn from the talent that's coming in, who come with a diverse and different point of view. So having leaders go through reverse mentoring with the diverse talent itself, in a way, is basically expanding your horizons of how you look at talent in this in the industry, Pooja.
Well, sir, thank you for taking the time to speak with us and for those wonderful nuggets of wisdom. We wish you all the best, all the continued success for you and team.
Hey, thank you, Pooja, and my pleasure as well. Thank you once again for recognizing Kyndryl's beliefs, Kyndryl's DNA, and more importantly, getting the recognition as one of the most sought after place for women talent to work with. We're really very proud of this and really look forward to the next milestone as we get onto this journey. Thank you.
For his take on how the next generation of women leaders in the workplace can be identified, groomed, and nurtured, next we caught up with the Vice President of Kindryl, Shankara Srinivasan. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. And to kick off the conversation, I'd like to better understand some of the more conscious efforts that the organization has made to become more inclusive in nature, more diverse in nature.
So let me go bottoms up for that, right? First, we looked into our early professional hires, and we consciously made a decision of seeding future leaders. So for infrastructure services, it is important for us to make sure that we have enough women both in technology as well as leadership.
Absolutely.
And we wanted to make sure that we bring our graduates into speed in an accelerated fashion. So our targets are basically set on hiring from universities based on diversity. And we also want to make sure that we hire and train in an accelerated fashion. The next thing is on women management.
Sure.
Right? We want to make sure that we are giving them accelerated training, thereby they are able to take up roles faster and in a focused manner. The next is technical leaders, where we want to make sure that our technical eminence is showcased by our women at workforce, and we also want to make sure that we have client-facing leadership in women that we have enabled in pockets across all the countries.
Well, sir, you've given us a fairly comprehensive current snapshot, but what are some of the formal future initiatives in the pipeline that are aimed at attracting more women to Kyndryl?
That's very, very important. And I think we use the governmental boards, we use the industry initiatives that are being run. So many of the initiatives that have hackathons and participations from all the companies is where we go and showcase and broadcast how Kyndryl is doing and what are the opportunities that are in there. We are also able to attract more talent through our diverse workforce that we have. Our women go speak for us, and that's how we have been reaching out to the workforce outside.
Well, sir, that makes for a lovely transition into my next question, which is what words of advice might you have for the next generation of women leaders who are actively considering pursuing a career in STEM, the sciences, mathematics, engineering, so on and so forth, basically technology?
Question and the need of the hour, right? So things have changed. The last 10 years, women have taken up roles that are significantly bigger.
Of course.
So we want to make sure that they understand their limitations and speed, and they accelerate upon. Many times it's looking into others and saying, okay, this is not going to work for me, but they know their capability and capacity.
Right.
So take up opportunities, take up risk, and take challenges head on, right? And this is something that I see it's happening very well now. The last thing that I want to say is you are your own limitation. Don't wait on others. Just make the move.
So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, and we wish you and team all the continued success.
Thank you for having me here. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
And with that, our special feature, Economic Times presents Best Organizations for Women, featuring Kyndryl, continues on the other side. So stay with us. Hello and welcome back. You're watching Economic Times Best Organizations for Women featuring Kyndryl. And the company's leadership team offered us a bird's eye view of how the company is empowering women in the workplace with its highly progressive corporate policies. We're in conversation with its Chief Human Resources Officer, Sukanya Chaudhary. Sukanya, thank you so much for joining us. So Sukanya, companies are obviously fighting tooth and nail to attract top talent and create highly inclusive cultures. What's worked for Kyndryl in that regard?
Well, Pooja, we are a startup. It's been 6 months since we've started independently functioning under our own Kyndryl brand.
Right.
It's been an exciting journey so far. We come with a very strong legacy of the foundation, but what we bring alongside is now the agility of a startup. Sure. The opportunity to create a more meaningful, relevant world. And that is what is sort of, exciting, where talent is looking for co-creation all over again. So that's the edge. And what I would additionally say for India is that we touch the essential services for a myriad of our clients across the industries. So therein lies the aspiration on our ability to uplift 1 billion lives. So in parallel, we also have a largest footprint of the global CIC, that's the Client Innovation Center.
All right.
And the maturity that we have reached is that we deliver to the rest of the Kyndryl world, and we support across our capabilities of all 6 practices. So you can imagine the journey that we've traversed. So alongside, we also have our engineering and development lab. So it is quite a canvas in terms of not just the organization that we are, the work that we do, and the fellow Kyndryls that we work with.
Well, absolutely. And I've got a follow-up question there, because I'd love to do a deeper dive on what success Kyndryl has had in attracting a diverse talent pool. And what do you consider to be some of the most industry differentiating aspect of its corporate culture?
So with respect to bringing in diverse talent, we are gaining quite some traction. It is not about bringing diverse talent which is obvious on your physical characteristics, but to be able to look at diversity on leadership styles. Even as we are thinking about institutes where we will bring young talent from the campus, it's not just going to the creme de la creme. You will have to expand your lens on where additionally you will hire talent in terms of the background, the cities they come from, because that is where you have a talent pool which is so hungry, raring to go, but maybe just looking at merging a delta, where organizations can make them more ready, or rather corporate ready, right? We are in fact also tapping into respectfully the armed forces. So we are so proud in terms of the gains that we are making. With all humility, I must acknowledge there is a lot more that we need to do ahead.
Well, Sukanya, we applaud you for all of your efforts, and you are certainly setting new benchmarks for the rest of the industry to follow.
Thanks so much, Pooja. It's a privilege to come and share time with Economic Times, and we are excited about the road ahead.
Our initiative is unique to Kindred because we believe in the talent and strength of the women, in elevating and empowering them to our progress. We never have to have the conversation about why IDNA is important. It's a given. We have lots of conversations about the how and when of the IDNA initiatives we implement, but the fundamental underlying premise is that this is important to our business. We've been running quite a lot of programs, and I'm going to talk about a few of them. Of course, we have a program for our women leaders with almost 15 years plus experience, where they get mentored by industry veterans. It's a 6-month-long program through which the participants go through experiential learning and, of course, one-on-one mentoring sessions. We also have a program around middle-level women employees, helping them build relationships and understand the importance to be vocal about their thoughts and beliefs. We have another program, which is, of course, a 10-month-long program for our subject matter experts, through which they attend almost 6 learning modules on building skills for the future and get the chance to network with their peers and understand the business.
Next, we spoke to Kyndryl's CTO, Arvind Shetty, for his role on how attracting a diverse talent pool has become an industry differentiating aspect of the firm's corporate culture. Well, Arvind, I'd love your take on what diversity and inclusion connotes in an IT-specific context, and perhaps in an India context overall.
So, India is a diverse nation, and we have talent across the country, actually. So, clearly, from an IT standpoint, talent is available where we need them.
Right.
And for IT context, gender diversity, PWD diversity, people with disabilities, as well as LGBTQ+ are essential for the workforce. And they are business imperative for us, because if we are looking for talent, there are several other folks looking for same talent.
Right.
Unless we go after a constituents which will bring us new ideas, diverse ideas into the organization, businesses don't thrive from a differentiation perspective. So it's absolutely essential to bring diverse talent in the organization. Now, once they are in, what is the right thing to do? Making sure they're included in the conversation.
Of course.
Their point of view comes in whatever we make decisions on business, as well as we make decisions on people and people growth, actually. So in my mind, it's a game changer to have diverse talent within your organization, which promotes our business.
Well, sir, a follow-up question for you there. So then what should business leaders keep in mind when drafting these diversity and inclusion focused philosophies and policies?
So first thing is to have diversity in the process of drafting policies.
Right.
They have to in there. And it is not just a philosophical conversation about having diversity in the organization. It cannot be the nice to do thing in the organization. It has to be more specific and very deliberate in that process.
Sure.
By deliberate, I mean you have to have enablement as the need of the hour for everybody who is coming in contact with diversity as a talent in their teams, actually. That enablement is extremely critical both ways, to the diverse population and to a population which normally exists in the organization.
So some very tangible and insightful takeaways there. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us, Arvind.
Absolutely. Thank you for the time, viewers.
Next, we caught up with TNT India CIC, Senior Location Executive Hyderabad and Delivery Excellence, Madhuri Kalidindi, who shed more light on how the company has supported the careers of its female employees since its inception.
So for my understanding, Madhuri, give me a sense of your professional journey.
I started my career in IBM in US, and after 10 years, due to my personal work life, I had to move back to India, but has never let my passion for work go. I started as an Oracle programmer, then moved to be a business analyst. Through my journey, I have performed various roles like project executive, delivery lead, delivery partner, and always has been responsible for global delivery of IT support, which covers full range of IT operations and infrastructure. Learning new skills and staying relevant has been the success of my journey, and this keeps my energy levels very high. I paid attention through my career development, focusing on self-development and self-improvement and looking always to a challenge to learn new things, and that's been my way. And my advice for today's world would be stay relevant with the skills and technology and have right mentors and sponsors who can guide you through your journey.
After our conversations with management, next we spoke to Kyndryl employees themselves for a first-hand take on the company's work culture and the opportunities it generates for personal and professional success.
I chose Kyndryl because of its work practices, what they have interns to offer. It's very insightful. We have sessions and we also have very insightful work culture here.
It's fabulous, and I think it's a great place. It's really about being empathetic, energetic, and enthusiastic. I think that's how I look at Kyndryl.
Kindred gave me this golden opportunity to bounce back, and they also gave me a platform to prove my caliber once again.
I started my career as a software engineer, and today I'm working as a social media strategist for Kyndryl. So there was a huge journey, if you see, and I worked with various tech firms. And when I joined Kyndryl, I saw a place where I can grow, not just professionally but personally. I'm a dancer, and I could see how I matched those priorities when I learned dance and how I bring the discipline, the commitment back to my work.
When women look for a career in IT, I think they should only focus on two things. One is the people that they get to work with, if they are leveling them up or they're bringing them down. And two, the technologies that they're playing with. Do they have the ability to innovate, to truly make a change in this tech environment?
My career has always been in marketing and communications, and I joined Kyndryl because it was my chance to build a brand for a 19 billion startup, which was exciting. And my advice to women in IT or any woman, working woman, is to go after your dreams, never give up, and ask for and accept help gracefully.
It's been a great 2 decades of journey for me. Started my career as a college grad in IBM way back in '99 and traversed through multiple technical roles over this last 22 years of my career. It has been a very challenging journey for me. For a woman to pick a career in a network domain, it wasn't a usual thing. so happened that I had to go back and work with clients on and off business hours, because network being heart and lungs of the client's business unit, we used to get implementations to do in the way back in in the off business hours. This is the journey which is very important for me, because this was my first job, so I picked it up as a challenging role. Gone are the challenges. I also had a lot of opportunities to learn, and the support system around me and the partners, colleagues, leaders helped me to kind of traverse these difficult situations.
And with that, our special feature, Economic Times Best Organizations for Women, comes to a close. I'm Pooja Jain, signing off from the Kyndryl India headquarters in Bengaluru. Thanks for watching.